Sometimes it's important just to hit the record button. Before you that
would be helpful for the show that we are.
That old chestnut.
Yeah,
hey, speaking of show, welcome to Z&B Live, everybody. Unfiltered. Hopefully everybody's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today here in our YouTube chat, because I think a lot of us had a very, very, very late night, and we will get into that shortly. But I am ZachMRutledge, along with our amazing co-host, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. Hello. Here live on YouTube every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time for Z&B Live, your weekly recap and preview of everything Lego related in the world. Brian, how are you? How are you doing?
I am excellent, man. I got nothing to complain about except getting a little more sleep, but that's always on my docket. Feeling good about what I'm putting out into the world, how I'm, operating my existence, right? So I can also not complain because I spent $0 last night on Lego Gray Star Wars sets. So the wallet is happy, the mind is happy.
Some
and
of them were tan,
excited.
some of them were orange.
Great.
Okay, there were some browns in there. All
Great.
right. Just saying, we had some reds. Okay,
awesome.
Magentas.
Good for them.
Maybe a little bit of blue. All right.
How much did you drop? Are you what are we feeling?
Yeah. Okay. So, we'll get it. The Tantina. Yeah, the Tantina. See, it's not just all gray. There's a lot of.
You debating on that the other day, like last night?
I wasn't. I was not.
Oh.
There were people in our live chat on Twitch talking about some of the stuff that was going to be associated with May the 4th or Star Wars month, and especially this first week and weekend, where Lego's offered up 4 times insider points for certain sets, and one of them happens to be the older collector style Cantina set. I don't think they called that a UCS. I don't think that was an Ultimate Collector Series.
It was like a play series something.
Yeah, I don't think they designated it Ultimate Collector Series, but basically
right.
that's what everybody kind of calls it, right? But we got to talking about like the set overall and everything, and I was just kind of throwing out my 2 cents of maybe that set's a little overrated, Brian, because it really is
overrated.
It's just a minifig grab. That's all it is. The set itself is not that interesting. The build itself is not that interesting. I remember building that and just every bag, all I was doing was opening up every bag, just waiting for the next minifig. That's all I was doing. And so,
I always had a vendetta against that set because I was unbelievably disappointed they allocated whatever 50 pieces it was to that stupid pod in the background that never is acknowledged in Star Wars, but it's an Easter egg to something you see for half a second, when you could have added literally anything else to flesh out that scene more.
The Greedo ship? Are you talking about the
meaningful.
Greedo, the little circular Greedo?
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah. Get rid of it. It's dumb.
Get rid of it. It's dumb.
Even the other one in the background, like the more rectangular one, get rid of those 2 stupid things and make the Cantina bigger.
I didn't mind the white speeder ship because that's pretty prominent in the movie. You see it several times. I was fine with that's a fun little Easter egg. I was fine with that. But it is a set that's kind of devoid of a lot of Easter eggs because it's really just stuck in one little room, and it's just they didn't add a stage for the Cantina band. Like they didn't add anything. Like it's tight in there, and the bar is one of the most interesting aspects of it. But that bar is basically just a replica of a smaller play set that was still the Cantina set with the bar, and it had the exact same little circular Greedo ship in it. Like there was a lot of that set that was in a play set before, just expanded upon. It's a minifig grab. And then so we had an amazing member of the community get on Bricklink and start pricing out if you bought all of the minifigs, only the minifigs from Bricklink, and it was like $30 less than if you just went out and bought the set. So basically,
yeah, and at that point,
at that point, spend the $30, get the bricks, and then you have them to do whatever, if you want to mock or whatever you want to do with it. But I just thought it was interesting. The minifigs themselves are carrying enough value for that set alone because they're so exclusive to that set alone. So it's a overrated minifig grab in my opinion. But we'll get more into minifig things or overrated things as as the weeks progress, because I feel like we've got some hot takes on some overrated
we do
things to discuss. But we have a lot of stuff to discuss for the present, which includes everything May related. It's gotta be May, Brian. It's gonna be May. It is May. It's May the 1st. It's Star Wars week. Star Wars Day is coming up on May the 4th. Lego officially, everything went live last night at midnight Eastern time, and wallets were crying all over the world.
Yours was, not mine. I'm good.
So here's why I'm concerned about my wallet. The Lego website has a tendency to, what's a good term? Die during Star Wars releases, and it definitely it definitely decided to at least go into a coma for about an hour last night as soon as all of the May releases went live. And yikes, this goes back to one of my points I made early on. Pre-order. Make pre-orders available. Please, God, Lego, save yourself the hassle, your consumers the hassle, and just make pre-orders available for all of these sets. You're not going to include the gift with purchases. You know exactly how many you're going to need to make at that point, whatever. But you're not going to have these types of problems if you just let the pre-orders trickle out. Have one pre-order this day, one pre-order that day, whatever you got to do. But to just dump a ton of not just Star Wars sets, but you had all of the minifigs, you had all of the Despicable Me stuff came out, right? So you had a lot of other stuff happening at the exact same time, and that's rough. That's rough for any server when you got people all across the globe trying to attack it all at the exact same time, and it crashed. It went down hard to the point where people were, you were put in a queue. And they were releasing shoppers from the queue, I think, a little too early. And you were getting in there. And then the website started doing weird things. And you were hitting add to cart. Nothing would happen. You'd hit add to cart again. Nothing would happen. You'd hit it a third time. It would finally be like added, right? Would you like to see your cart? Yes, you'd see your cart. And you had 17 TIE interceptors in your cart. And no gift with purchases. So then you had to refresh your cart, and you couldn't delete them out of your cart because it was like erroring out. And then you weren't sure if it was actually deleted. It was a mess. It was an absolute freaking mess of a night. Somebody asked me last night, so what did you end up getting? And I said, I don't know. I think I ordered the TIE Interceptor. I might have ended up with 7 friend sets at this point. I have no clue because my cart was so jacked up the entire process. I don't even know if it's going to the right address. You know what I mean? Like I honestly may have sent 10 friend sets to Bricks O'Brien. I have no idea. At this point.
I'll give them all away on my channel. I don't care. More partner stuff sponsored by ZachMRutledge. That's all good. That's fine.
So, from my understanding, I go to the website today and nothing seems to be sold out. And it seems like gift with purchases are still being added into the carts. So I did like a couple little test things just to check and see. There was a rumor going around. One of the things that they did make available was that new encyclopedia. And there was a rumor going around yesterday that the encyclopedia was added back in to the ability for a gift with purchase threshold. That is absolutely not correct, at least for the United States. I don't know if they're doing that in other countries yet, but at least in the United States, if you add the encyclopedia, you do not get any credit towards any of the Star Wars gift purchases. So
the encyclopedia or the big book?
The book, not the dictionary, the encyclopedia, the big book.
Like the $150 one?
Yeah.
Apparently an encyclopedia.
What are they calling it?
Great question. Let me check. But it's not an encyclopedia.
I'll tell you what. I searched encyclopedia. I searched Star
Well,
Wars
that's just
encyclopedia.
SEO.
I know.
You
I'm
could
just saying,
search dictionary.
Obviously, I'm not the only one calling it an encyclopedia. If
Big
it's
fat
going,
Star Wars book. That's what's going to pop up.
I wonder
It's
I wonder if I search big fat Star Wars book, if that book would pop up on.
It's a coffee table. Okay. So right now, when I look at the listing on the website, it says gift with purchase. It includes those three: the coin, the AAT, and the Trade Federation troop carrier. It advertises it.
Add it to your cart. It doesn't add them.
Oh, well.
It
all right,
does
yeah,
not.
that's dumb. Never mind. That's stupid. All right. Never mind. You're right.
That's the thing. And that's what I don't get is like there was like this whole question of does it, and I'm telling you right, I tested it. I tested it for you people to see, and no, it does not include it. You people. I did the work. I did the work for you, and no, it does not include it.
So you bought it.
I bought it.
Yeah, I did not. I have abstained. We'll rely on Zach to give us the 411 on what to look for in future Lego Star Wars sets. This is literally the tea leaves, Zach. You will own the tea leaves in July.
It's interesting again. The delayed July 20th release. I'm still waiting to see. They haven't said anything official about, is this a limited run? Is this going to be available for a while? We don't know. If pre-orders sell out, is that when it's just done? I have no idea. So I didn't want to take the chance. It was one of those ones I didn't want to take. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to take the chance on any of the Star Wars Insider Point redemptions. So they had a collectible coin that was available for 1,500 insider points, and then the art piece. And those were the first two things that I did on that website. When I got the website to actually work, those were the first two things I did. Was I redeemed my poster and I redeemed my coin, and that was before I ever even looked, touched, or tried to add to bag that TIE Interceptor. So I walked out with two things. I walked out with the TIE Interceptor, all of the gift with purchases associated with it, and then in a separate order, I walked away with the Force of Creativity fat book. Because I don't know what I want to call it, an encyclopedia. So it's basically an encyclopedia. It's a fun encyclopedia of knowledge.
You know, it requires a lot of knowledge, Zach, is launching something into literal space, not play space, not like fake space, you know, this nostalgia space y'all seem to enjoy so much. I'm talking real space, which, by the way, hey, shout out to Lego for releasing official images as we spent our entire episode talking about the leak of it, annihilating the general interest in the show for that week. Hey, thanks, man. Meow, meow. Meow, meow.
I'm still taken aback by your spin there. That segue was hot.
I'm good at this. You're not the only one. That's
it made me feel
professional. You may have an Emmy under your belt, but that doesn't make me any less valid. Okay, so
it made me feel things. So yeah, the Artemis was officially announced and put on the website by Lego.
We already talked about this.
Yeah, that's crazy. But my God, this Milky Way set I feel like it's starting to become like a very divisive set. Like there are people that are just adamantly, this set is stupid. This set sucks. I don't understand this. And then there are people like me who are going, oh my God, give me all of it. Because I am all in on that Milky Way set. The parts usage, it's pretty colors. It's going to be amazing. I think it's still going to be a fun build because it's not just a bunch of dots like the world map was and things like that. I showed this. I was showing this live on Twitch, and I said I can guarantee you two things. My wife is going to want this set, and I'm going to have to build it because she's going to have no desire to put this thing together. And she immediately pops in. She was lurking in the shadow. She says, "You're right on both accounts." So it may not be for everybody, and that's totally fine. And that's what Lego does a lot of really well, honestly, is they diversify. You have a lot of sets for a lot of different types of people, a lot of things for a lot of different building enthusiasts. And this is just one of them where it's not going to be for everybody. But my God, I'll tell you right now, anybody on the fence about it, you watch me build this set, you watch somebody like Astro build this set, it's going to change your mind. Guarantee you it's going to change your mind.
Remind me what your wife does for a career.
She's an occupational therapist.
This set is perfect to put in the office of an occupational therapist that you have your husband build for you. Your 1-bedroom Soho apartment, your transformative. This is the set you build to remind yourself of the childhood nostalgia you forfeited to become a cog in the wheel of corporate America. Not for me in any way, shape, and form.
It would look so good right behind your head, right there on the wall, right behind your.
I got plenty of stuff behind me. Very interesting color palette. The world map was enough. I don't need to do more tedious piece putting down whatever. I will look forward to watching specifically Tom Astro Canuck live build it, because he is the space guy. Nothing against you, Zach, but he is the space guy. So
100%.
You know, yeah. So I'm gonna enjoy that secondhand experience, but yeah, just definitely not for me.
He's gonna get, this is a guy that's gonna get so jacked about stuff going on in the set because of all the different nebula and whatever they got going on. Like, it just lists a ton of different things that they've included in this set to represent that whole galaxy. It's very cool. It's a very, very cool set for space enthusiasts for sure. But yeah, people like me that just enjoy a creative build, I think this is, and I love these art sets. Now, the map was not for me because that was a bunch of dots, and so I didn't. That, to me, that's tedious. A bunch of dots, snap, 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 snap. This at least gives me a ton of variety when it comes to the parts they're using to create this 3D style. And I think that's what I'm going to get excited about, is what pieces they're using, what parts they're using in what areas to create this mosaic style. That's what's going to get me excited about this set. The look back on it, stepping away from it's going to look like a pretty, interesting cool mosaic style picture. But it's when you get in close to it and you start seeing, oh, they used a shoe for this, or they used a whatever for that, or they, that's what's gonna elevate the whole set, set for me. Is it a day one and a May 15th purchase? Absolutely not. You can't give me all of the goodies on May 1st and expect me 15 days later to spend another $260 on the Artemis set and or $200 more on the Milky Way set. That's just too close together.
$200.
It's $200. And then the Artemis is $260. So if you want both, you're at $460 plus obviously taxes. That's US. But
yikes.
Yeah, yikes. And that's rough. That's a hard pill to swallow after dropping, $250 on a TIE interceptor just 15 days earlier. That's because there's a lot of crossover between these things too, right? Like, the audience will cross over between what people are getting for Star Wars and what they're getting for this. So you do have to, which is what we talked about when we talked about the Artemis and just getting the information out there. So you're arming people with information to make decisions, to make informed decisions about their purchasing habits, so they could sit there and go, no, I would rather have an interceptor versus a Milky Way, or I would rather have an Artemis, versus, 3 different Star Wars set. Like, Lego needs to give people that opportunity to make those decisions as early as possible. So I applaud them for getting it out there. But I just feel like it was just like a week too late, to get this stuff out there. But and we'll get into more of that as the show progresses. So, not a day one purchase for me. sounds like not a day at all purchase for Brian
Nope.
on either one of these, but definitely check out people like Astro Canuck over on Twitch for, I'm assuming, some early build shenanigans, day one shenanigans, maybe.
Yeah, he's gonna build it all in one go until it's done. Every person will have a dot on there, whatever, something involving potatoes and Kerbal Space Program, whatever.
You know, the thing that really got lost for me in the whole shuffle of last night's shenanigans with the website were the CMFs, the space CMFs. I mean, it's just this, the season of space just continues. You know, we've got the space CMFs. We get those ones that you found early, you son of a gun.
I did at Target the other day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build them live tonight.
There you go. So I still need to go back, and I still got to get a few for myself, but that'll be just like a last minute thing. Yeah. But still lots to, we still got lots to get done, lots to build, or lots to buy for the builds, in May. That's the present, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, but we're in fact going to look more into the past. We're gonna turn back time, folks, just for a little bit. Let's go back to the 80s. I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 1980. I started the decade, and all of the 80s still touches my soul in all the right places. Lego pushed out a challenge to fan builders out there to design 80s style sets in the hopes that they could either reacquire or acquire for the first time or whatever certain 80s IP to make as sets, and it's going through fan voting. The response was so phenomenal that not only did they kick off the fan voting for the sets that have been chosen, but they actually decided this is only going to be the first of 2 runs of this 80s nostalgia fan voting process. So if your favorite 80s IP didn't make it yet, if you look at what they have available to you, the E.T. set, Gremlins, Goonies, Beetlejuice, never fear, there's going to be a second round starting on September 1st. So looking at some of these sets that they have available for voting right now, the ET one to me is an interesting diorama. It's cute. It does not look fun. I don't know how Lego could make it be more fun because it's basically just the poster. And if you're already kind of turned off at the idea of the Milky Way, this diorama set's even worse because it's really just a big moon and then a bunch of trees. Like, it's not going to give you a whole lot of stuff for that unless Lego is somehow able to turn that thing and make it, and Legofy it and whatnot.
I'll tell you something controversial, Zach. Gremlins and Goonies are 2 of the most overrated movies that have ever released.
Welcome to Z and Overrated Live Unfiltered. We have officially kicked Overrated O'Brien off the channel, and he will be moving on to bigger and better things, whilst I talk about how amazing this Gremlins set and Goonies set is, that is currently available for fan voting on the Lego Ideas website. The Gremlins set is a little tight. It's your typical Lego house set, open back. It's got a lot of Gremlins Easter eggs in it, and as a Gremlins fan who enjoys watching this film yearly, because I do not believe in any way, shape, or form this film is overrated. I think it's a spectacular
Gremlins.
I think Gremlins is a spectacular holiday film in the most derpy way possible. My favorite part of the whole thing is just how crazy the whole movie is, and then all of a sudden they take this time to get really dark and talk about how one of the main characters' father died trying to be Santa Claus coming down the chimney. I love how just morbid that whole moment is in that movie. So good. But the set cannot hold a candle to what they did with the Goonies set for this idea.
That
program.
will never be made.
Why? Explain why. I want to hear why.
It's way too obnoxiously big. Absolutely not. That is somebody putting up a mock on Lego Ideas and hoping it gets made. You're going to see something half of that scale with the rooms at least a half or, a quarter of that size compared to what they are right now. There is no reasonable way Lego is ever going to make a set with that much brown and that much dark gray and that all those rooms being as big as they are. Absolutely never going to happen. You look at like the Death Star or any other diorama, like a Arkham Asylum or whatever. Those are all compact rooms to make the build itself more compact. That's a pipe dream. That is what you wish they would make. That's what I wish they would make for like the type of thing for Peach's Castle, or even if you look at the Disney Castle, right? They could have made it double the size and double the size of the rooms, and they're not going to do that because it has to fit in a, $200, $300 package. I don't see anybody who is a casual Goonies fan spending any more than $200 on a Goonies set. I don't believe that. So it has to be $200 or less to fit within that idea's criteria and something people will actually buy instead of look at in the Lego store and said, man, I wish I could afford that, but it's $350.
All these sets are going to be Lego-fied, right? They're all going to be kind of redesigned. And in this case, yes, I think you shrink it down a little bit, but I still think you've set a precedent with sets like the Batman Batcave, the Titanic. You've set precedents for larger scale sets that use the same color piece. So I don't think that's not out of the realm of possibility here. The amount of, we want to talk about a minifig grab, just like the Cantina. That's what this is. This is an opportunity for a lot of very specific minifigs and specific minifig designs for something very much like the Cantina, and the Cantina's $400. So I know it's got the Star Wars tax applied to it, but if you just shrink it down just a little bit, like some of the rooms are some of the modular rooms here are kind of oversized. You don't need them to be that big. So you can shrink it down a little bit. But the amount of Easter eggs and whatnot that you can include scene-wise from all the different elements of that movie into this makes this set amazing. And the amount of minifigs that you have makes it amazing. It's going to be $350 if they make it, just because of the sheer amount of minifigs that they would include with it and the overall design of it. It's a cool idea. You have the ship on one side, you flip it around, it's got all the stuff on the other. I love this idea, and I think out of all of the ones that are currently in the list here, including the Beetlejuice house, I think this is the no-brain winner out of that group.
You can justify a $300 Batman set, a Marvel set. You can't justify a $300 Goonies set in 2024. Can't do it. Hot take. Can't do it.
I don't underestimate the power of the nerd, man. There are a lot of people my age that grew up with this movie that have adult money, and they're gonna be all for this set.
I think that's a much smaller group of people that when you make a set that big, you have to justify, the amount of cost that goes into producing that set. And yeah, you can have like a relatively smaller run on it, but I don't see that happening.
I mean, look what they did with The Office. Look what they did with The Office. They took The Office, they cut it in half. You know what I mean? They still gave you a lot of the minifigs. They took a few of the minifigs out, but to help keep the cost down, they cut it in half. They made it, a little bit more of that open front style, kind of a peer into the office kind of thing, as opposed to a full office. And they were able to cut the price because of it. And I think you're right. Like, I think not disagreeing with you that this is an overly large set. I think it is, and I think that they can cut it down in scale, in size, and help keep that price low. Can they get it, below $200? No, and still have it be what this set is representing? I don't think so. So I still think that they're going to have to go big or go home on this. But if they acquire or reacquire, whatever their purpose is for doing this type of event with the ideas, if they're able to get a hold of that Goonies license and use it here, then they can also pay that forward, and now you can start also having some play sets as well. So now you get smaller versions of some of these things, and you might be able to recoup some of that larger cost associated with the larger set. I don't know.
Of all of these, I actually like E.T. the most, even though I haven't watched all of E.T. because I watched it as a kid and I was terrified and I never finished it. So, and I never went back. So if you're looking at like what exemplifies the movie, I mean, that poster is one of the most iconic movie posters of all time. And yeah, is the build kind of lame in the same way that like the Milky Way is kind of lame where you're just putting stuff on there? Yeah. But when I look at that, I think, man, that is what that is. And if you want to go for a cost-effective set by comparison of Gremlins, which would be probably $100, Goonies at least 200, Beetlejuice would be 150, like Sanderson Sister House level. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I could see being at 100 or whatever. The E.T. one, I think, has more mass appeal. I think it has the opportunity to go a little bit further, and it can be under $100 if you scale it down a little bit, and it can stand up on its own as a beautiful display piece. If they found a way to convey the silhouette of E.T. on the bike and everything without making just all monochrome black minifigures, then that would be cool. I don't know how they would pull that off, maybe with a light brick trying to be behind it to kind of illuminate it, but you'd have to illuminate the whole moon, and you got to get a lighting kit. I mean, the lighting kit people be all over that. It'd be great, right? But
they'd also be all over that Goonies set too.
Yeah, well, and the whatever. So I think that would get if I had to vote for each of the two, that one, and then I like seeing, the small stuff, like scaled down, like, Ant-Man kind of stuff. So Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is kind of cool. The giant blades of grass, the half of the brick, right, with the ant, right? Like it's cool. It's a cool idea. So, and it's very Lego-y, right? You have the brick in the ground. So I would like to see that just from like a cool kit to have on the shelf. I've never seen that movie either. So the only movies here that I've watched is Gremlins and half of E.T. So I don't have any leg to stand on, but that won't stop me from giving the hot take. So meow meow.
Yeah, this E.T. set's boring. This E.T. set's I love E.T. man. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I've got like every box collector set that they've ever come out with for that film. I've got the soundtrack on LP. Like, I love E.T. This set is boring.
That's surprising. I mean, maybe Lego will make it a little more interesting. I don't know how you do that. I don't know
how you can, though, because the poster, which is what this is modeled after, is a very subdued poster. Like, it's meant to be minimalist poster, and it's a bunch of layering. It's a bunch of layering of tree part. Like, come on, man. Like, this is somebody complaining about the Milky Way right now. Like, how the heck is this going to translate to anybody? Give me a break. Like, there's like a total of I don't know, 10 different pieces in this entire set. Like, give me a break. Like,
someone needs more coffee. All right, we get it. We get it. I mean, we have enough winter themed stuff. Gremlins, like I said, I'm not a big fan of, but like Beetlejuice, I think with the next movie, it being topical on people's minds, it could work. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Right. Lego ever do anything topical? Come on, man.
Yeah, right. This stuff closes on June 14th, of 2024. So you could foresee these sets coming out 2 years from now. Well, the winner will be announced September 1st of this year. So I'd probably say by 2026 or 7, you'll see these. Or this could just be the Lego way of saying, "Oh, we already had these done."
The winner of the first one is June 14th, and then the winner of the second one is September 1st.
Okay. Yeah. So regardless, both of them will be released 2026 or 7, unless this is just seeding for like what they've already had cooking. Like, which one looks most closely like the ET that this person has on their desk? All right, cool. And we're gonna do that. So you never know.
Start scoring the K-Cups. Listen, we're gonna get out of the past and we're gonna start thinking about the future, folks. Lego did the thing. We were.
With this image here, you picked like 2 of the lamest sets that have been announced for August. Unbelievable. Anyways,
I did. I really did. The Lego did the thing. They let's see, the people on Spotify and Apple, they won't even know. They'll never know. They'll never know. They're gonna know. Lego did the thing that we were kind of screaming for last week, and they finally hit us with some early announcements outside of just, a Mario set where, tends to be the only one we get ahead of time. We got a look at all the summer sets leading into August, or coming out in August, which includes a ton of Speed Champions and Technic sets and Ninjago and freaking Animal Crossing and Mario and Marvel, and my God, and boy, the real punch to the gut is right before you were ready to pull the trigger on hundreds of dollars of Star Wars sets on May 1st. Man, they did it. It was like 3 hours or something. Like all of this stuff dropped, and
so let's kind of go in order of how things have kind of dropped. A lot of stuff was at once, but the first of everything were 2 brand new Animal Crossing sets. These were officially unveiled on Lego social media. They had a little video of, if you're familiar with the game, KK Slider, the dog who appears Saturday afternoons, evenings to perform. Him introing, and then they show 2 sets that appear. One of them is the Town Hall, which features Isabelle, KK Slider, and then, man, I don't know all the villager names. Audie. I don't know all of them. There's like hundreds of them. All right, I played this game for over a decade.
God.
The second set is going to be the Dodo Airlines, which features Wilbur and Tangy, which is one of those minifigures / villagers people are all about. So
that plane and Tom Nook are the only 2 things I ever remember about that game. That's it.
I don't disagree. So I was talking about Lego Animal Crossing for a while, what they should do in the future. The Town Hall, congratulations, Lego. You did exactly what I told you to do. You gave us the Town Hall with KK Slider and Isabelle in a different outfit compared to the one that she came out with this past year. So that was her springtime outfit. This one is for the fall. You see that with the autumn tree in the background. So they're acknowledging the different seasons and giving you more to play with, which is cool. There's a camper van, which I believe is from like you visit an island, and they all have different camper vans that you buy stuff out of in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is still what this is based off of, the Nintendo Switch game. KK Slider there performing every Saturday. You get a different tune for your jukebox, and then to get your favorite villagers, you gotta use Dodo Airlines and fly that little plane and search for them, get all different rare materials and stuff. Tangy, one of the most popular of the villagers ever, so obviously very cool that you get one of those. We get Wilbur, but not the other Dodo, which would require the same mold, just a different printing, so hopefully we get him eventually. But these 2 sets are very complimentary to what's already come out. Like I said, they're exactly what Lego should have come out with. I wish, obviously, the buildings were a little bit bigger, but considering the scale of everything, these are very cool. The only iconic buildings really left, we have the museum, we have Able Sisters, and if they want to go retro, they can. I don't foresee them doing that. So I could assume a January 1st wave will be the museum, the Able Sisters, maybe a couple villager houses and random stuff. But this is all we got for August of this year. And I think that's going to be it, considering the theme is relatively new. There's other Nintendo stuff. There's other Sonic stuff. So that's that.
I could care less about these sets. All right, so oh, by the way,
next up,
these won't be included in your giveaway.
No. I clarified it. Like, so for the Twitch partner giveaway thing that we're doing over on my Twitch channel, it is only the currently available retail sets, and I clarified that with the giveaway, so it does not include these two. But yeah,
the one I'm excited about, or outside of some of the obvious things I would be excited about, which I didn't think I would be excited about, is the Ninjago sets, and specifically the Cole's Titan Dragon mech. It's supposed to be one of the biggest mechs that they've ever done, and it looks I'm really getting into the Gundam hobby, and I've been watching the show, I've been watching the Gundam shows, I've been building the Gunpla, like I'm getting into it. And this mech is the first time I've really felt like a Lego based mech is very much designed like one of those model kits, and I am all for. I've never went out and spent money on a Ninjago set, and this may be in August my first Ninjago set that I go out and buy myself, because I am all in on this mech. I never would have thought I would say that, but I am all in on this mech. And Brian's not. And of course the Technic and Speed Champions. I'm not a Speed Champions fan. I don't care about them. They just take up, honestly, for me, they take up a lot of space for the little that you get. A lot of them have a lot of stickers that you have to deal with and things like that. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, space baby. You've got another space set, man. I tell you, 2024, it's the season of space. It's just they can't avoid any space. Obviously, there's Sonic involved as well. I haven't gotten into any of the Sonic sets that have already been released. I don't care about them. I can care less about them.
Briefly, the only highlight from Sonic is that you get Super Sonic in one of the more expensive sets. I believe it's $100. The rest of them, I believe, are repeat minifigures. So I will not be buying any of them, even for Super Sonic, even though I have all the rest of the main characters from the past wave. A lot of that stuff doesn't translate directly from games, or games, or at least I care about. So they're more play sets, just general play sets, kind of like what Mario is after. So, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. Are you day one on the Animal Crossing sets though?
August 1st is gonna be painful if the likes of Beyond the Brick or otherwise don't intervene and bestow greatness upon me. That's gonna be very painful between Animal Crossing, Mario, and potentially some Marvel, man. I hate that I'm saying it. But potentially some Marvel. We're looking at it right here. If you're watching the live show here, man. Oh man.
Oh God, they hit us hard last night, folks. I'm telling you, they did not pull any punches last night when they dropped all this stuff. They gave us some goody things with these Marvel and Mario sets. And I want to start with, honestly, I want to start with the Mario stuff. I want Brian to cook for a little bit on the Mario stuff, because it's interesting to me that they very much are doubling down on the electronic figures. Are doubling down again on this is the style of our Mario sets. Like, we're not going away from this anytime soon. This is the way it's going to be. No minifigs, but these big, electronic figs. And we now have new starter packs, folks, with Mario, Luigi, and Peach.
Makes all the sense in the world. Anytime you go into Target, you see the Mario sets, $48, $12 off the retail price. So after tax, you're looking at $50. So $50 has kind of been this, appropriate retail price for these kits for a long time. They're doubling down on it. This is a prelude to Mario Kart coming out in 2025. So they either we're going to go all minifigures and retire these, or doing a refresh, a different look for the product on the shelf is great. Gets just fresh eyes on it. They have done exactly Lego is listening to Mr. O'Brien as he rants and raves from the North Shore of Boston, Massachusetts. They are giving more in these starter courses than they have been before, where you look at for $50, you have Mario, Bowser Jr. with the clown car, a Goomba, and Yoshi, whereas before you only got a Goomba and Bowser Jr. No clown car, no Yoshi. So they're putting less emphasis on the random play bricks that are coming with it, right? You kind of have less of the interactive stuff with there, but you're prioritizing characters, which is what obviously people care about with Mario in general. You're getting less of those, you know, whatever pieces that you have in your bulk lot to flesh out your level, but like really getting to the meat of it, which is great. And that carries over to Luigi and Peach as well, where you'll see that they have Lakitu in a starter kit for Peach, which is awesome. And that's a version of Lakitu that is kind of like the Mario Kart one. He's got the hook and he's kind of levitating you off the track. That's pretty sweet. And you have a lava buddy and a Toad. Great. Perfect additions for Peach. Luigi, Abu, Kamek, and I forget the pink Yoshi's name, the small variant there. But again, putting emphasis on the characters, giving you more for your money at a lower price. I'm all about it. But if you already have these characters, you're not going to buy them. So I'm going to buy them because I'm a sucker and I need every variant of everything that's ever existed, because all the problems I would have had with Ninjago, Star Wars, or otherwise are all allocated into Lego Mario. So I'll take all the garbage that y'all don't want. I will buy all of it so you can focus on whatever else you want to. The other really cool one is a $50 expansion one, the Soda Jungle Maker Set, Wiggler, Shy Guy, Piranha Plant, lots of cool accessories. This is kind of where they're
I like this.
Yeah. They're emphasizing all of that like random play brick stuff you would get in the starter courses. You're now getting here, and I like it better here because it's a theme. It's one big level theme that plays into each other. So if you buy one of the starter kits and this for $100, you have like a fully decked out crazy level instead of like a half baked of each. So I'm a big fan of that. What I've noticed, and this is especially noticeable in the Goomba playground, is you don't see the shadow version or the non-saturated version of the other play characters in the box art. So they're in the top right-hand corner. You know, buy these if you want to, but this set can stand on its own, where you have 3 Goomba, a tree, and a seesaw. So cool complementary things. If you're still not about Lego Mario, this won't change your mind. But for those that will be getting into Mario Kart in 2025, I think the starter courses are a great change up from what they were presented as. Much better box art. The messaging is clearer on the expansion kits and on the starter courses. And yeah, just doubling down on it, hoping it sticks. And
yeah,
you know,
the starter courses needed a refresh. The Mario one's been out for a minute. Peach and Luigi are a little bit newer compared to compared to him. I'm just wondering if we're not going to run into a starter course issue when we start getting into starter courses for Mario Kart, because we're going to if they start doing starter courses with these figures with the cars themselves, then all of a sudden you're getting the same thing over and over and over again.
I don't think they're going to. I would rather them see, honestly, is them come out with a $20 to $30 Mario Kart that could stand on its own as a model that you could buy the starter course for. If it means what happens with like the Bowser car that came out earlier this year, you give us a more in-depth model with more pieces and it stands on its own. That one came with Bowser, not interactive, obviously, but give us something of substantial value in that $30 package that you could put on your desk as a nice display piece. I'd rather have that instead of inflating it with a Mario figure, which then would drive the price up to like $60 or $70. So keep it separated, more value in the carts themselves. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm all for these Marvel sets. I really did like the look of that Soda Jungle Maker set. Like that Mario set looked more interesting to me than obviously any of the starter packs, because I spent the money on those starter packs to get those specific electronic figures, because they interact with the adult sets, they interact with the Bowser, they interact with the question mark block, they interact with the NES, right? So I don't need, like, I look at it and go, whatever. But they are ruddy fun to play with. Like, they really are. Like, I found myself putting together those starter packs and going, okay, this is actually kind of fun.
Yep.
But when they hit me with all of these Marvel sets also coming out at the exact same time, oh my God. Here were a couple takeaways for me, at least. You get to pick and choose, right? You get two sets that have Hulk. Have the Hulk model that we got in the Avengers Tower.
They are slightly different.
Are they different?
What I can tell.
Okay, I couldn't see that from the imagery that we were provided.
Yeah. So one of them, the Avengers Battle one from the first movie, the pants are jagged and dark gray. The ones from Age of Ultron are more refined around the cuffs on the bottom, so they're like cleaned up. There's like a jumpsuit.
Gotcha. And what was the one on the tower?
I don't know. I don't see the figure.
I can't. Yeah, he's hidden behind something on my tower, so I couldn't really see. I'm curious which one, if it's the more jagged one like that. But we also get the Leviathan again, which I'm curious if that's the same model as we got in the Avengers Tower, or if they've modified that.
It's different. The stud shooters on the side. When I looked at this
playset features.
I thought this was dumb. I'm like, why would you buy this? Obviously, for people that don't want to shell out money for the Avengers Tower, this is a way to do it. But then when you look at it, each of the figs are $5. Let's say Hulk is 15, generally speaking. So $35 in minifigs, you get that Leviathan for $15. $50 total for that is actually pretty good. And if you're already buying the Avengers Tower, you could really, a lot of repeated characters, obviously, but you could deck it out even more. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are amazing. These three, the two Age of Ultron sets, and the Leviathan Avengers, those play sets are fantastic. I love that they've done these play sets are great. I can't wait to get these play sets for friends and family and my nephew and whatnot, and see him put these things together and everything like that. I am curious to see Hulk wise. So the Hulk joints in the tower set were a little loose, and I'm curious if they've corrected that with these, because if they have, I'm totally replacing the Hulk a tower with one of these other ones. You have the Surtur, the Thor,
long overdue.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the mech design of Surtur here, but again, it's a fun play set. It would be kind of cool to kind of build a little Surtur and whatnot, but it's not knocking my socks off or anything like that. What is knocking my socks off, though, are these two Guardians of the Galaxy sets, the dancing Groot, and finally, I get a Milano set that I can be like really, really, really happy and proud of. This Milano set is beautiful. Like, it's just beautiful.
That's the Milano I wanted 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's
literally
without building it, it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of set.
This, the first version of it and the Rocket Groot, whatever breakout set, those were the two first Lego sets I ever bought with my employee discount when I worked at the Lego store.
Nice.
And I always wanted a Ultimate Collector's Milano, something really cool look like. And of all the, I don't agree with that they came out with all these different Milano versions for the characters over the course of the movie. I wanted, at the time, I wanted the Milano to be the Millennium Falcon of Marvel and be the mainstay throughout the whole thing. And then, here's a different design every movie. I'm like, who cares? So I actually have the Infinity War set of whatever, the Benatar, the big one, that is retailed for 170. I'll gladly trade someone that for this. I don't want that at all. I want this. This is the heat. This is what I'm after, for nostalgia and for the sake of it being just unbelievably cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. The dancing Groot is adorable, and I'm sure it's going to be one of those ones that my wife is going to yoink, and it's going to end up in her office. But that Milano set is going to look beautiful. It's going to be, it's going to be nice next to the other versions of that we got with what did we get? The Benatar and I can't remember the other set. The Bowie.
Yeah, whatever.
The Benatar and the Bowie. And I'm with you. From a fan's perspective, I look at when properties do that with their very amazingly designed ships, because we grew up with Star Wars, and so we grew up with this idea. We grew up with Star Trek. We grew up with this idea of iconic singular ships that run the entire span. They're a character, the entire span of a franchise, kind of thing, right? And then Star Wars did it, where we were getting into the Mandalorian, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is the great return to Star Wars or whatever, and they blew up the Razor Crest. They blew it up.
Wholeheartedly disagree.
You idiots! You maniacs! You blew it up. Like, that's what they did. They blew it up, and it's the same thing that James Gunn did with this, and Marvel did with the Milano. They blew it up, and I don't get that. I don't understand, other than to sell more toys. Like, and I totally. And here's the thing: you got to remember, like, one of the biggest marketing geniuses and retail geniuses here when it comes to licensing, George Lucas, left the Millennium Falcon alone.
Yeah, right.
In his 3 movies, left it alone. Didn't touch it.
And they still, listen, they have 1,000 variants of that Falcon that have released throughout all of time. An $800 version all the way down to a $10 version. So what? That's a whole separate topic. Why not just honor and have one?
The point is, you can leave these things alone, and it'll be fine. And you get corresponding things to help, but you leave. It's a character. It's literally like Game of Thrones and killing off a main character at the end of your movie. Like, that's not. No, stop it. Stop it. You're hurting. You're hurting my soul. I hate this. I hate this sometimes. But I love what they've done with these August releases coming out. I'm very, very excited about the Marvel releases. I'm, okay with the Mario stuff. I'm super jacked about this new Ninjago tech or new Ninjago Titan mech. And I'm excited for others when it comes to Sonic and Animal Crossing and the Speed Champions and Technic stuff. But they kind of forgot about the Jays a little bit. We don't have any June and July news. We just skipped. We went straight to August. We're like, we're going to start summer with a bang with May releases, and then we're going to give you how we're going to finish it in the meat in the middle. You're going to have to wait and see. So I'm really curious to see what they hit us with and what they hit our pocketbooks with in the coming months when it comes to June and July, because I feel like we're going to get some pretty cool stuff.
Give me my Deku tree. Come on now.
Mr. Bricks O'Brien, we've talked about it. We talked about it last week, but you are in a fantastic and magnificent partner push on Twitch. We explained last week the reasoning behind it, what's all involved, but I, for one, cannot thank the communities enough for already jumping in with both feet and supporting you and doing everything they needed to do. What kind of cool stuff do you have coming up for the Bob for Partner sweepstakes that we've got going on for the next 3 months?
Yeah, so between all the things that Mr. Rutledge just put up on the table and myself, right now there is a R2D2 giveaway happening, so you can earn points. You can earn your Bob bucks just by watching the show and literally doing nothing else. Just be there. Just be here at the very beginning of the live show that is actually happening tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturday at 10 a.m. I have my schedule posted up a week ahead of time. That runs until May 29th. And then the Animal Crossing Big Island prize pack, which does not include the 2 sets that just got announced, but every single Animal Crossing set currently available from May 30th to June 29th, and then a Mario Red Nintendo Switch OLED from June 30th to July 31st. So every month there's going to be essentially a new thing that I want to have offered up on the channel with the help of Mr. Zach here. Amish Ace has also offered up a Lego mechanical keyboard giveaway that'll be happening. So that's another $320 item that is tossed into the pot of awesome stuff. Including me wearing the hat on a recurring basis, a Minecraft Battle Royale map, me releasing a body pillow, and then potentially a Lego Deku Tree giveaway if it happens, which it's happening. So get prepared for it. Probably September. So cool stuff lined up. Tonight is going to be Marbles on stream. You can win a selection of Lego rarities just by showing up and playing. And I have a couple surprises. So even if you don't get top 3, you're still going to want to be there and hang out and play and win.
And get there early. That's the main takeaway here. Get there early. Get there early. We need you in that first hour when he goes live. So be there early. Twitch.tv/BricksO'Brien. Be there early. Stay often. Hang out the entire time. You're going to have a good time. And earn your points. Hashtag just be here. That's all it takes. You don't have to worry about all the other stuff going on. You just have to be there.
Just be there.
That's it. That's literally all it's going to take. That's all you have to worry about. And your chances skyrocket by just being there. That's it, to win all of these amazing prizes. Mr. Bricks O'Brien, thank you so much for another fantastic and amazing conversation here on Z&B Live. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time over on YouTube. You can also catch us on Apple Podcast and Spotify Podcast. Thank you guys so much for doing all the YouTube-y things, hitting those subscribe buttons, dropping those likes, dropping those comments. What did you buy on May 1st? Did you buy anything? Are you waiting for May 15th, or are you now pinching your pennies for August? We want to hear in the comments on YouTube and on the podcast review channels. Thank you so much, everybody. We will catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.